Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're going to talk about a hard-hitting topic, right? Really hard to deal with. This isn't something that you can openly discuss with other people because most people want to put a facade that they're going to be supportive of you, and then many times they'll just stab you in the back, right? And they don't even want to admit that they think they're going to do that just because they have their own ego to protect. And most people actually believe in their own BS as well. So the question that we're going to kind of deal with is, do most people actually support you, right? And if you were like me, just like a normal thinking person, when I was about 18, 19, I just thought like, hey, whatever I do, whatever ambitions or dreams that I have, or I don't even have to have any ambitions or dreams, just the thing I'm doing, I'd hope that my tribe would support me. And tribe, for the purposes of this video, just means the people that you grew up with, right? And as human beings, we're tribal creatures. We're not meant to be just individuals, living in a modern luxury apartment in a big city where we don't have a meaningful life. It's just a void, right? But that's how a lot of people live nowadays, and they kind of cling on to that, right? Just a materialistic world without a tribe to share it with. And I just assumed that, like wherever, after graduating high school, that whatever I did, it didn't even matter what I did, right? Like I just wanted to do things with my tribe because I passed the age where my hobbies or my passions really just didn't matter to me. Like I did what I needed to do, and I didn't want to live for myself anymore. I want to, and I think this would be an actual normal and healthy desire in a normal and healthy society where when you become an adult, it's not about you, it's about, teaching and growing the next generation. But for whatever reason, um, it doesn't matter what age you are these days, it's just all about you. I mean, think about all the people who work like jobs when they should have retired 10, 15 years ago. And it's kind of not their fault too, because the moment that they quit their job, because we're such an individualistic society, um, they're going to just be thrown to the dust. I mean, most people are just thrown to the dust anyways. But back to my point, so we're going to answer the question, do most people actually support you? And the answer, I'll say 8 times out of 10, will be no, right? And so one of the biggest heartbreaks that I had to experience as a young man was just telling people, "Hey, I'm going to do this," and receiving so much opposition and hate from other people. It's like, where did this come from? People telling me I'm an idiot, or people telling me, you shouldn't dare try to do this because you have no life experience. Heard that from several people. And I was just like confused. And just as a normal person trying to get away from toxic personalities, I I just I just stayed at home and did nothing, right? Nobody really supported me, but I was always like obsessed with like, hey, you didn't used to be this way like 3, 4 years ago. What happened to you, right? You weren't this way as a young teenager. In fact, a lot of people that I know, right? I would say that I really admired the teenage version of themselves, but when they became an adult, they thought that for some reason that they were better than their previous version, but in reality they were worse. I don't know if that makes sense, but I know a lot of people like that, and people are going to really offended um, when they hear that. But again, back to my point, I tell other people, "Hey, I want to do X." Right? Let's say I want to start a business. The hate will come. And, me as a naive person, I'm thinking like, "Oh, if I do this, they'll be interested and wanna join me," right? Have you ever had that feeling where you had some hope or desire, and you want other people to kinda join in with you because you don't wanna do it by yourself, and then you tell other people, your tribe, and then they just start pouring the hate, and you're like, "Where did this come from?" Right? And this is the truth for the majority of people, and this is why most people just fizzle out in life and do absolutely nothing, are completely depressed, is because they thought that people would do what they were supposed to do, right? Like, I actually think this is a normal human desire, but because we live in some sort of weird inverted world, um, most people will not support their own tribe, right? But the reason why I say I think this is a normal human desire is because think about like the desire to, let's say, like fight for your own country or go to war. Like you want to defend and be part of your tribe. Like you want your tribe to exist after you're gone. And that's why you're willing to go to war, right? Like, makes sense. And so what happens with a lot of people is this, they'll say, hey, I'm actually willing to go to war for my tribe. And instead of the enemy shooting and killing them, which would be a glorious and honorable death, and one that many people would actually be proud to sacrifice their lives for, they get shot in the behind by a fellow soldier, which is demoralizing and makes you question your life if you survive, right? So, but this is what happens with a lot of people is that they tell their tribe their intentions, expect support, and let me actually add something here, get irrational hate, and then dreams die and fizzle. This is a lot more common than you think it would be, and that's why books like the 48 Laws of Power are so popular, right? If this did not happen at a big scale, that book would only sell 5 copies, right? So it's kind of like one of our open secrets, I guess, where people do it, but they don't want to admit that they do that. And if you have a desire to tell other people what it is that you're doing before you do it, 80 to 90% of the time that's going to be death for you, death of your dream, death of what you're trying to accomplish, right? And I know that there are some people out there who actually get the support that they need. This isn't like 100% rule, but for the majority of people, just assume that's you. I assume that's me too. And here's the other thing. Here's how you know most people's real agendas. What you do is you just accomplish your goals first in secret. Then you tell your tribe, like, hey, this is what I think I'm going to do. And then you get the irrational hate. And let me actually do that. Copy and paste this here. And then you'll understand other people's agenda, real agenda, right? Doesn't matter what it is. Like you could have been studying a foreign language for like 10 years and not have told anyone. In fact, I'm going to tell you a personal story of mine. I'm actually fluent in Spanish, and I studied it in my youth, and I'm really fluent, right? And I never really told any of my friends just because I was kind of ashamed. I thought like this is really cool, but I'm really ashamed. And then later I became an adult, and the reason I shouldn't, because I think it's a natural impulse to want to be like your friends. So as a young person, but as an adult, I was like, okay, I'm going to tell everybody, not everybody, just a few people, hey, I'm actually fluent in Spanish. And what happened was that people that I know would tell me I'm a liar and I'm just trying to get attention. Yeah, and it really made me think about that because, like, instead, like one of the ways that you could kind of like figure out what the other person what their agenda is by the way that they kind of respond to these things. So let's say like I've known you for 10 years and you tell me like you're fluent in Mandarin, and I'm actually curious if you are. I would just say, hey, like, can you like record yourself on a video speaking with a native speaker? Can you do that? I'm just curious because like I've never seen you do it before, rather than, oh, you're just a liar and you want attention, right? So if they default to one, they're actually curious and wondering like, how'd you do that? Number two means that they don't want to even think about the realm of possibility that you can actually achieve what you say you're going to do and get outside of their preconceived notions, right? And here's the thing: if you expect that people are going to support you, they're not. So just do it anyways. right? Just accomplish your goals. Don't tell anybody. I mean, sometimes I break my own rules just because I have a little sliver of hope that people will support me, and they probably won't. I mean, how many times have I talked about doing a YouTube channel and people just say, well, that's nice, and just kind of stand there. So, eventually I got to a point where I said, well, okay, I'll just do this in secret. And we got a lot of people watching this YouTube channel, 1,600 hours last month, right? But if I just kind of kept telling people like I want to do this or I want to do that, I'll be dead before I ever get any sort of like real support from my tribe, right? I'll get support from random strangers because obviously a lot of you are watching, but for my tribe, they ain't gonna give me support, right? And it's the same thing with velocity banking, right? It's like if I tell other people, hey, I'm thinking of doing this thing called velocity banking, you want to watch some videos of me with me? Um, expect to tell you that you're an idiot, you get the irrational hate, and then you just don't do it because you need the support of others to do it. And this is my situation where I just kind of did it, and then I just told other people, and then no curiosity, no support, and then you understand other people's real agenda. Like most other people would rather just kind of be dead before they supported their tribe members. And I think this is one of the reasons why there's so much depression out there. Just because the wicked attitudes and spirits are just kind of common throughout the population, right? I think in a normal, functioning, healthy society, we would support our tribe members. We would do it, right? And I know there's that saying, prophets are never welcome in their hometown. And I talk about that a lot. But I just feel like it's a normal human desire to just support each other. And it's been inverted. It's kind of like fast food. Once upon a time, nobody used to eat fast food. And then now everybody does it, and everybody's experiencing health problems. Same thing. That's how I feel about it sometimes. But what do you think? Am I crazy, or do most people actually support you? Right? And really, the best way to get around this is just accomplish your goals without telling anybody, and then tell other people and see what they say, right? And then you could see what their real agenda is. Okay. All right. So this is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. If you're interested in joining our group, go ahead and click the Google form link below. Happy Friday, and we will speak next time.